Well, I think Rich has a couple of cases.
Yeah, can we bring up the cases? So I have a couple cases for you guys, or at least one, and wanted to see if there would be any particular type of reconstruction you do. So the first one is she's about 24, and she had a melanoma removed by a wide local excision, and here's the resulting defect, and she's going to get married in about a year. She has a wedding coming up in about a year.
Of course.
So we start with any of you. Whoever wants to take a stab at it first. I know what Mark's answer is. He's going to put the magic dust on it.
No, I think this is a good candidate to try ACell. Yeah. In the worst case, it shrinks it down significantly, where you could potentially do some a much smaller reconstructive or scar revision surgery. And in some of the literature of facial reconstruction, you'll even see some of the lashes grow back. I don't know how that happens, but I mean.
Well, Matrixel is also used to grow hair, right? So it's injected. So any chance this would grow some of the brow hair back?
I didn't bring that up, but I mean, one of the uses potentially on the market that's really getting a lot of exposure is the use of plasma and ACell injected into the scalp, and it's starting to regrow hair. So I guess if there's some follicles here, maybe that could happen. But
Mark Lucarelli?
Sure, I vote for the fairy dust. I mean, this is one of those. This defect involves at least 3 cosmetic units. So you're talking forehead skin, talking eyebrow and eyelid skin. That's a very hard, and it's a young patient, as Mark was saying, who doesn't have a lot of laxity. There aren't any rhytids to put incision lines into. It's not any conventional method is going to be looking pretty rough still at 6 months. In a defect that's not horizontally as wide, I think Jerry Harris has showed us some nice results in his books and at some of the meetings of bringing it side to side, but the person's has no eyebrow to work with, and
I think definitely for an older patient you do that.
Yeah,
very successful.
Yeah, for an older person with laxity, that would work. Although this would be still a big defect to bring side to side. So I would definitely think what Mark showed us would be the way I would go with this. I'm a believer after your presentation.
Would you guys ever think about taking like a little sliver of the brow from the left side?
So you're asking about transplanting some. I think people have described that, and even using occipital scalp to do eyebrow transplants. I don't have personal experience with it, and some of the results that I've seen didn't look very enticing to me. So
I don't either.
Have you tried that?
I've only done something like this on someone with a congenital abnormality where he had been born with anophthalmia and presented very late, so he had a very micro orbit and micro eyelid, and so his natural eyebrows were very low at the location of where a normal person's eyelid crease was, and he had no eyebrow, so we just moved it up, but that was clearly different than this one.
So Dr. Lucarelli gets the prize. So I did take some occipital scalp here, and you can see her on her first day. That's 1 week afterwards. She's not happy with me at all. She has a wedding coming up, and here we are. So basically took a little bit of skin, a little bit of hair, sort of made sure that the hairs are going to grow in the right direction, and gave it some time. And so here she is about a month later. A couple months later, it's not looking too good, and also losing the hair there. And but amazingly, it started to come in. Actually, we had more problems with the scar on her scalp than we did have with the way things were healing. Wow. So
good for
it's
you.
healing pretty well. And
great.
here she is, basically a few months before her wedding.
Nicely done.
So anyway, so interesting thing, with regards to restoring brows, the big brow defect in a young person, I think you could consider this.
Yeah.